There's a moment in every woman's life when she realizes the person she loves most is also the person who hurt her the most. For me, that moment came on a Tuesday evening. I remember it like a photograph burned into my memory. The kitchen smelled like the dinner I had just cooked. His favorite meal, candles on the table. I'd even worn the dress he always said made my eyes look beautiful. I was always trying. He walked through that door at 8:47 p.m., 47 minutes late, and the first thing he did was smile at me. Not a warm smile. Not an "I'm sorry I'm late" smile. A confident smile. Almost careless. And something deep inside me shifted. I had been noticing things for weeks. Small things. The way his phone always faced down on the table. The way he laughed differently at certain messages. The way he said, "Just a work thing," a little too quickly whenever I asked anything. I told myself I was overthinking. I told myself I was insecure. I told myself, "And he loves you, trust him." But that smile on that Tuesday evening told me something else entirely. My name is Maya. I was 31 years old, 4 years into a relationship with a man I had built my entire world around. Daniel was charming, successful, and everyone adored him. Our friends called us the perfect couple. My mother called him a blessing. And I believed it. Every single word. I had left my job in another city for him. I had turned down opportunities, rearranged my dreams, and quietly shrunk myself so he could shine brighter. I told myself that's what love was. Sacrifice. Patience. Showing up. Even when it's hard, so when the doubts crept in, I pushed them down, again and again. But that night, something was different. Something in his eyes told me he was carrying a secret. And worse, he wasn't even afraid of it anymore. After dinner, he fell asleep on the couch. His phone lit up on the coffee table. I didn't mean to look. I really didn't. But I saw the name, and I saw the words. And just like that, my whole world cracked open. Can't stop thinking about last night. I put the phone down, walked to the bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror for a long time, and I made a decision in that silence. I would not cry. I would not scream. I would not confront him that night. I would smile, just like he did, and I would wait. The next few weeks were the hardest of my life, and also, somehow the most clarifying. I started paying attention in a way I never had before. Not out of obsession, out of survival. Her name was Priya. She worked in his office. I had met her once at a company dinner. She had shaken my hand, looked me in the eye, and smiled at me warmly. I had thought she seemed kind. The cruelty of that memory took my breath away. I went through nothing illegally. I didn't need to. When you're quiet and observant, people reveal themselves. Daniel had gotten comfortable, careless. He thought I was too trusting to notice, too soft to act. He had no idea who he was underestimating. I found receipts saved in an old email folder. Weekend hotel stays on days he told me he was at conferences. Restaurant bookings for 2 on evenings I thought he was working late. A jewelry purchase, a necklace, and that never came home to me. Each discovery felt like a door slamming shut on the life I thought I had. But I didn't fall apart. I documented everything, quietly, carefully, without a single tear in front of him. At home, I kept playing my role. I cooked dinner. I asked about his day. I laughed at his jokes. And when he smiled at me, that same careless, confident smile, I smiled back. Wider, warmer, softer. Inside, I was building something he couldn't see yet. The emotional shift happened slowly, then all at once. There was a night I sat alone on our balcony, wrapped in a blanket looking at the city lights, and I remember thinking, I am not broken. I am just finally awake. The woman who had silenced herself for this man was gone, and someone much stronger had taken her place. I called my old boss, asked if the position was still open. It was. I started making financial arrangements, quietly separating what was mine. I reached out to a close friend who was a lawyer, just for advice, just in case. And then came the moment I had been waiting for. His sister's birthday party, a gathering of family and close friends, people who loved Daniel. People who had watched us as a couple. People who had told me for years how lucky I was. He had no idea I had already spoken to 2 people in that room. The party was beautiful. Fairy lights in the garden, laughter everywhere. Daniel stood in the center of the room, charming, glowing, working the crowd the way he always did. He caught my eye from across the room and smiled. I smiled back, harder. I had not come to cause a scene. I want to be very clear about that. I had not come to scream or throw accusations or shatter a birthday celebration. That was never my style. But I had come prepared. When the moment was right, quietly, privately, I sat down with his mother, a woman I genuinely loved, a woman who deserved the truth. I showed her what I had found. Not everything, just enough. Her face changed slowly, the way faces do when a truth too heavy to deny finally lands. She didn't make a scene either, but she spoke to Daniel that night. In the garden, alone, I watched from a distance. I saw his posture change. I saw the confidence drain out of him like water from a broken glass. I saw him look across the garden at me, and for the first time, his smile was gone. Mine wasn't. Within 2 weeks, I had moved out, calmly, completely, on my own terms. Daniel tried to call. He tried to explain. He used words like mistake and confused, and I never meant to hurt you. I listened once, then I let the silence do the rest. Priya, I later heard, ended things with him shortly after. Turns out she wasn't the only one he had been dishonest with. The version of Daniel that everyone admired, the charming, perfect one, quietly unraveled on its own. I didn't have to do a single thing more. I took the job offer. I moved back to my city. I rebuilt slowly, beautifully on my own foundation. And here is what I want you to hear. If you are sitting somewhere, right now feeling broken by someone who should have protected you, your silence is not weakness. Your patience is not stupidity. And your pain, if you let it, can become the most powerful thing you have ever carried. I didn't cry in front of him, not once, but alone in my new apartment. On the night I finally felt free, I cried for a long time. And it felt like rain after a long, long drought. He cheated on me and smiled. I smiled back harder. And then I simply walked away into a life he was never worthy of.